too high-pitched and loud. Within a minute, not kidding, this thing stopped spinning, started spewing smoke, and now my whole house smells like burnt popcorn. The burnt popcorn, lovely smell. I actually have to hold the tube in place to keep the flour from squirting out the sides and going everywhere. These are excerpts from real reviews of a real product. We've all read through reviews of products we're thinking to buy or services we're considering to try. And so have our students. Why not leverage this? Let's connect this familiar consumer practice with the classroom. Let's encourage our students to dig through these customer reviews like they're mining for gold. Every now and then, you'll come across a set of reviews that provide authentic customer feedback and uncover customer pain points. These customer pain points are like gold nuggets that provide invaluable information on how to improve a product and create real value. Think back to the burnt popcorn review and the others. These are reviews of the Wonder Mill electric grain mill. It's a product that allows users to create their own flour at their own home. Overall, it's a huge success. With over 350 reviews on Amazon, it's got a 4.5-star rating, and it's even an Amazon's Choice product. But among these reviews, we find some of these gold nuggets, the customer pain points. It's too loud. Its motor can overheat. And flour can leak as it's being transferred to the holding bin. These are just a few of the customer pain points that I've found while digging through the customer reviews. So you may wonder, as engineering educators, how can we apply this in the classroom? Well, one way is to treat it as a standalone exercise. In this case, really any product or service that has many consumer reviews can work. Another way is to treat it as a Kickstarter to a larger design, build, test project. This is how I've used the Wonder Mill electric grain mill in my senior level electrical engineering course called System Design. In this case, I recommend that you find a product that's relevant to your course. The Wonder Mill electric grain mill is great for a system design course because it has several interacting components, some of which are electrical, but it's got a simple system architecture. Another thing to consider is to be sure that you pick a product that has relatively inexpensive value-add modifications that could be done to it in the time scale of your course. Again, the Wonder Mill electric grain mill is great for this purpose. With just a few sensors and some inexpensive electronics, my students can create real value by addressing the customer pain points. But a broader, more important question that I want to ask you is, why should we care? Why should we as engineering educators consider doing an exercise like this, having our students read through customer reviews and trying to identify customer pain points? What's the purpose? Well, I believe there are at least 3 different types of engineering students. The first type of student is the type that loves math and science. These are the students that do really well in our engineering analysis and modeling classes. They often go on to be the faculty members and researchers, and traditional engineering education has served them well. But then there's a second group. These are the students that like to do cool things with engineering. They like to tinker and build robots. They're the so-called makers, and the maker movement has attracted more of them to engineering. But most importantly, there's a third group. This group really needs to see the broader impact that engineering can have on society and the value that we can create. It's this connection that motivates them to study engineering. These are the types of students that we're trying to impact positively by this sort of exercise. So let me tell you a story about one of these students in this third category. Her name is Alexandra Sita. To give you an idea of her mindset, I first met Alexandra when she stopped by my classroom to talk about a smartphone app idea she had. Her idea was novel as far as I knew, but more importantly, it had the potential to create real value to its end users. Her idea was to create a virtual academic advisor that could suggest different plans of study to a student based on a series of interactive questions. While the back end would be a challenging artificial intelligence problem, the main idea demonstrates that she had the knack for opportunity recognition and a value creation mindset. Now, I wasn't the only faculty member to recognize that she had potential. Others had suggested to her that she should apply for the University Innovation Fellows Program, or UIF. I supported her UIF application as her sponsor, and despite this mark on her application, She was successful. In fact, she became ONU's very first UIF fellow. Alexandra was extremely successful as a UIF fellow. She helped to start a student group dedicated to innovation. She was instrumental in the student group that led the renovation of the College of Engineering Design space. She even served on an academic committee that oversaw the first floor renovation of the university library. And she provided critical student feedback in that process. Simply put, she became a changemaker. Despite her success as a UIF fellow, Alexandra told me that she often struggled with some of the more theoretical courses in the electrical engineering curriculum. She felt disconnected from some of the more abstract content. She longed for a course that stoked her curiosity, that created real-life experiences in the classroom, and that emphasized value creation. In short, she longed for an entrepreneurially-minded learning approach. After taking the system design course, she confided in me that the entrepreneurially-minded learning projects helped to build her confidence. They helped her to apply her previous knowledge from the curriculum, like circuits and electronics, and combine it with her value creation mindset and creativity to address real-world problems, like improving the Winter Mill electric grain mill. This helped her to identify as an electrical engineer. So what can we learn from Alexandra's story? Clearly, Alexandra is the type of student that we want to be successful in our programs. So how can we better attract, retain, graduate, and ultimately launch the Alexandras from our programs to successful engineering careers? I believe the answer is the entrepreneurial mindset. So what's a simple, straightforward, abundantly available resource that we can leverage as educators immediately to ignite the entrepreneurial mindset in our students? Online customer reviews. I urge you to promote the entrepreneurial mindset by having your students read through online customer reviews to stimulate their curiosity, help them to discover customer pain points. Let's connect this familiar consumer practice to real value creation. Well, let me explain this a little bit more. First, online reviews of many products are abundantly available. All we have to do is check Amazon, eBay, or just about any other e-commerce retail site to see that it's true. Second, we can stimulate our students' curiosity by encouraging them to dig through these customer reviews to try to find customer pain points. Psychologists have found that providing an environment that encourages exploration is one way to stimulate students' curiosity. So if we provide this environment that encourages them to explore the customer reviews, then that can stimulate their curiosity as well. Third, customer pain points are buried in these customer reviews. Some companies, like Whirlpool, already use customer feedback to discover customer pain points as part of their product improvement process. Then lastly, addressing customer pain points can create real value. Take as an example how many of the major retail banks have recently alleviated the customer pain point of in-person check deposits by using mobile deposits. This has simultaneously cut costs for the banks and improved the consumer experience, thereby creating value for both parties. So back to Alexandra. She's now a value stream engineer at Whirlpool, the same company I mentioned that already uses customer feedback to discover customer pain points. Serendipity at its best. So in closing, I encourage you to meet the needs of the Alexandras across our country and promote the entrepreneurial mindset by using online reviews to stimulate the curiosity of your students and help them to discover customer pain points. Let's connect this familiar consumer experience with real value creation. Thank you.